Hello, hello, and welcome to all you PMOs, PMEs, POMOs, POMEs, and PIMQs. Welcome to the world, the podcast where we discuss all things related to the process of waking up, walking out, and moving on from life as a Jehovah's Witness. So I'm going to be taking some time off for the next few weeks. And first and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your love and support and appreciation for the show. I've been getting fan mail on a regular basis, and man, it just fills my heart up. It makes me so happy, to hear that this is landing for people. I'm hearing people say that this is resonating for them and really speaking to the things that they're struggling with and working through. And I have so much appreciation for you guys, and thank you so much for showing up every week and checking out what we have to offer. And I get a little worried that if I take some time off, that you're all just going to disappear. I really hope that doesn't happen. But in the spirit of hoping that it doesn't happen, I'm going to try to at least release a little something each week for you to chew on. So with that in mind, I thought today I would just share an analogy I use quite a bit in my work with clients that I find to be really helpful in understanding the task at hand when we leave the organization and venture out into the world. So basically, I want you to imagine a small boy or small girl, maybe elementary school age, and this little boy or girl walks to school every single day. And on the way to school, there's a street they always pass. And on the end of that street, on the corner, there is a grown man looking at that child and saying, "You see this road? See this street I'm pointing at? Don't you ever go down that street. Because down that street lies demons and monsters and evil and danger and every horrible thing you could ever imagine. And in fact, not only are you in danger if you go down that road, but if you go down that road, that makes you evil too. You will become a bad person. You will be consumed with evil." Now, of course, the child, not knowing any better and having the general sense that adults are always to be trusted, they believe that person. And every single day, that person is on the corner saying the same thing over and over and over again. And that child would never even dream of walking down that road. Because in their mind, it is so locked in that everything they are most afraid of awaits them down that road. And this warning is so effective that there are days that sometimes the man isn't even on the corner anymore. Maybe he's taking a day off. I don't know, maybe he's sick or something. But that child, every time he goes near that street, he crosses to the other side of the road just to make sure he goes nowhere near that street. Because he's been told. He's been told over and over and over again what horrors await. But then something shifts as this child gets older. Maybe he has enough experience with adults to know that sometimes adults are full of shit. Sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. Not everything they say can be taken at face value. And they start to question things. And sure enough, they eventually come to the realization that this person standing on the corner of that street, since they were a little kid, is just a fucking crazy person. It's just so clear. Like, oh my God, that's just an unhinged, delusional, crazy person. And while that fact may sit so clear in that person's head, it doesn't change the fact that when that grown adult walks by that street, the hairs on their neck stand up. And everything in their body is saying, don't go down that street. Yeah, I know. We know it's a crazy person, but my stomach is saying, don't go anyways. Don't go anyways. Because why risk it? Just in case. I don't know. Maybe he was right. I don't know. Probably not, but we can't completely eliminate the possibility that he's right, that there's monsters and demons and evil things down that road. They feel it in their body because they have rehearsed it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. For decades, they have conjured this image in their head to the point that their brain doesn't really know how to distinguish between reality and what was imagined. And it's not even just in their brain, it's in their body. It's a felt sense. It's in their stomach. in their gut. It's deeply embedded fear that's come about as the result of endless rehearsals for this scenario. Now, I don't think I need to go into elaborate detail in explaining the correlations between this story and what is happening to us as Jehovah's Witnesses, particularly those of us who were born in. And as we start to sort through this, the first step is always understanding from a cognitive standpoint that man was just fucking crazy. Just a complete lunatic. That's the best place to start. Let's just establish that whatever was going through that guy's head, he did not have our best interest in mind. Or I don't know, maybe he meant well. Maybe that's just what he saw. Maybe he was just trying to protect kids. I don't know. But either way, his experience was not an accurate reflection of reality, because we've been down a billion other different roads now at this point, and we realize that's just not how streets work. But yeah, just like in the analogy, knowing that is not enough. Knowing that what we were taught and what we have rehearsed over and over and over again in our brain is not accurate, it's not enough to just make it go away. It's not enough to just make it okay. All of a sudden, we're fine with it. Nope, it doesn't work like that. And so while in therapy and other forms of working through this, while it's really good to really name what happened and understand that from an intellectual standpoint, no matter what, in order for us to fully heal, there's only one way for us to do that, and that is to walk down that road. Because no matter how many times we tell our body that it's safe and it's fine and nothing's going to hurt us, our body is not going to trust it until there is a lived experience where we walk down that road and nothing bad happens. So what are we talking about here? I am talking about that feeling you get when you get invited to your first birthday party. And you know, there's nothing wrong with a birthday party. It's just a group of people and some cake and some candles. It's fine. It's fine. Nobody's head is going to get chopped off like that one time in the Bible. We know that. But there's a feeling like, oh my, I don't think I can do that. I don't know. I know it's fine, but what if it's not? And here's the thing. Go to the fucking birthday party. You gotta go. And you're gonna feel weird about it. And you're gonna have butterflies in your stomach. And you're gonna go home, and you probably still have butterflies in your stomach because you think maybe, I don't know, maybe Jehovah's gonna punish me later in my sleep or something. But sure enough, you go to bed, you wake up the next day, it's fine. It's fine. And here's the thing about walking down that street. It's rare that one time down that street will do the trick. You gotta go a few times, you know? You may get those butterflies the first few times you go down the streets. In some cases, with some situations, you may have to go down a dozen times or maybe 25 times, you know, before you burn that program out of your system. The one that is convinced that going down that street equals something bad and something bad will happen to you. And this applies in so many ways. We are walking down that street in so many different ways when we leave the organization. You know, same thing when we're walking into a church for the first time because one of our friends is getting married. Or we're hanging out with that new friend who's covered in skull tattoos and body piercings. Or when you're getting your own tattoos and body piercings. When you start having a sex life for the first time in your life and you're engaging in premarital sex, oh my God. You're going to feel it. You're walking down that road again. You're walking down this road that you have been drilled that is just terrible and bad and makes you bad and everything bad's going to happen. And yeah, I wish I could give you the secret and say, here's how to think about it, and you won't feel funny about it at all. But that's just not how it works. You're gonna feel funny about it. And this is an important piece of this. Not only do we have to walk down this road, but we have to accept that there's never going to be a time where we're going to feel totally cool about it. I mean, that's part of the deal. In order to get past this, in order to move through it, in order to grow from it, we have to throw ourselves in it despite feeling fearful and scared. Now, some of those roads you might not be ready for. That's fine. You can give yourself time. It's okay. You don't have to throw yourself into something that feels way too overwhelming. But once we establish intellectually that something we want to do, that there's no good reason why we can't do it, it should be added to our list of things that we should get around to at some point. Maybe some things are a little easier. We'll do those a little earlier, get our courage up a little more. Maybe some things are a little more intense. We're going to wait maybe a year or two before we try those things. But the bottom line is the same. If we want to deprogram ourselves, we need to immerse ourselves in the experience so that we can have a lived, visceral experience that overrides the program you have in your brain. All right, just a little bit of food for thought. I assume that whether you think about it this way or not, that's pretty much what all of you guys are doing anyways. The moment you decided to leave that Kingdom Hall and never come back, that was the first road you were walking down. And you did it, and nothing bad happens, and everything is fine. Okay, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and leave us a review. And pay it forward by sharing this podcast with other people who might benefit. If you have any questions, feedback, or ideas for future topics, email me at drryanlee@drryanlee.com or visit my website at drryanlee.com. Until next time, remember, you are brave. You are strong. That dude was crazy, and there's nothing to be afraid of down that road. And you, my friends, are not alone.